The story of the angels Harut and Marut is a well-known tale in Islamic tradition, stemming mainly from a verse in the Quran and various hadiths and historical sources. While the details and interpretations vary, the story typically goes as follows. Quranic Reference. The only direct mention of Harut and Marut in the Quran is in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:102. Greater than, and they followed what the devils had recited during the reign of Solomon. It was not Solomon who disbelieved, but the devils disbelieved, teaching people magic and what was revealed to the two angels at Babylon, Harut and Marut. But they, i.e., the two angels, do not teach anyone unless they say, "We are a trial, so do not disbelieve," by practicing magic. And, yet, they learn from them that by which they cause separation between a man and his wife. But they do not harm anyone through it except by permission of Allah. And the people learn what harms them and does not benefit them. But the children of Israel certainly knew that whoever purchased the magic would not have in the hereafter any share. And wretched is that for which they sold themselves, if they only knew. In this verse, Harut and Marut are mentioned as angels sent to Babylon to test people by teaching them magic, warning them of its harmful effects, and emphasizing that magic is a form of disbelief. The mention of Solomon is meant to clear him from any association with magic or sorcery, as he was a prophet and did not engage in such practices. What Solomon offered people was not magic but holy miracle and belonged to Allah. Story and interpretations in Islamic tradition. 1. The purpose of the angels' descent. According to Islamic tradition, God sent Harut and Marut to Babylon as a test for humanity, so that to guide people what was magic and what was miracle, which purely holy belongs to Allah. Some scholars suggest that, at a time when humanity was deeply troubled by the temptation and spread of magic, these angels were sent as a trial to guide people the dangers of magic and to instruct them in recognizing it, but with a strong warning that using it is forbidden and sinful. So that people got knowledge about magic and miracle to understand Prophet Solomon's miracles. 2. The story of the angels and their trials. Some narratives, mostly from historical sources and not considered canonical by all Islamic scholars, elaborate that Harut and Marut were chosen because of their righteousness and devotion. They were brought to the world and were given human characteristics, which included the capacity to experience desires and emotions. During their time on earth, they encountered a woman, sometimes named as Zora or Venus, who tempted them, leading to stories of how they struggled with their human desires and faced a moral trial. 3. Magic and moral test. The angels, by teaching magic to people, emphasized that it was a test and warned them of its consequences. They taught that magic was not to be used to harm others, especially not to create discord between people, such as between husband and wife, which is often cited as one of the primary harms of magic. This story illustrates the concept of free will and the importance of moral choice, as the knowledge could either be used wisely, by avoiding magic, or destructively. 4. Consequences and legacy. Different sources mention various fates for Harut and Marut. Some traditions say that the angels were punished for succumbing to earthly temptations by being suspended upside down, in a well or underground as a form of repentance and as a warning to others about the dangers of hubris and moral weakness. Symbolism and lessons. Free will and responsibility. The story emphasizes that even angels, if given free will and earthly desires, can face trials and potentially falter, underscoring the challenges humans face with temptations. Magic as a test of faith. In Islam, magic is generally considered a harmful and forbidden practice, so Harut and Marut's teachings come with a clear warning that it is a test, highlighting the principle that knowledge can be used for both good and evil. Accountability and redemption. The story also reflects themes of accountability for one's actions and the potential for repentance, a key moral teaching in Islamic theology. Islamic scholarly views. Most Muslim scholars approach the story of Harut and Marut cautiously, noting that the Quran does not elaborate on all details of their story. While the basic elements of Harut and Marut's test and warning against magic are generally accepted, the more fantastical elements, such as their punishment or the story of their temptation by a woman, are regarded as folklore or weakly sourced and fake traditions rather than reliable Islamic teachings and sources. Conclusion. The story of Harut and Marut serves as a reminder about the dangers of magic, the importance of moral choices, and the trials of faith. It reflects how knowledge itself is a test, and people are accountable for how they choose to use or misuse it. This story has also permeated other cultural and religious texts, indicating its widespread appeal and the timeless themes it embodies.